Hey guys, Gunpowder Handshake here. How you guys doing today? Well, today the video is about a Springfield 1911 mil-spec. Picked the gun up about 2 weeks ago. I'm going to do a little review on it as well as a few customization parts on the gun. It was great out of the box, guys. There was just a few things that I wanted to do just to make it a little bit better. In here is your Allen wrench, your key, things of that nature. You got your owner's manual, 1911 loaded coupon, really cool thing. Actually some pretty good deals, guys. I mean, if you look at them, magazines and things like that aren't bad. Precautionary slip, nice slip, tells you that your firearm dealer is supposed to keep this. We know that didn't happen. Alright, now to what we're talking about here, guys. Lifetime warranty, always a good thing. Alright, here it is. This is the Springfield 1911 mil-spec. Go ahead and do a safety check. Came right out of the box. You guys seen that, but since I did tell you that I had it bought it a few weeks ago, no magazine, no shells. Okay. A couple of real quick things about the gun, guys, that I really like. It is shiny. It looks really nice. It's got a few little scuffs on it you can see already. I was a few different things. One thing I would contribute that to a little bit is I got a Fovus holster. I really like the holster. Unfortunately, it does do some scratching. This is kind of like where the holster stops, so it does have some rub lines. I mean, I'm not going to complain. I knew it when I got the holster. Also, when I carry the gun, you know, I mean, I do carry it quite a bit, so it's not something I'm trying to have a showpiece here. But basically, to go back over the gun real quickly, guys, it comes stock with the Springfield Armory wood grips. It also comes with, I believe the name for this is called the duckbill instead of a beaver tail. The hammer, I hear a lot of stories about hammer bite. Just to tell you guys, I have shot this thing quite a bit. No hammer bite. I mean, as you can see very clearly on the video there, that the hammer, there is no way that hammer can get to my hand. I mean, even if we were to try and force the hammer down, I mean, it really does stop on that piece of steel. There's no way for it to get to you. The one thing I will have to point out, a lot of people talk about hammer bite. It's actually where the gun goes back and forth in your hands when you shoot it. The corners here are a little sharp. You can take some sandpaper. I've done that kind of to smooth them out a little bit. One thing I recommend, guys, if you ever sand any parts on your guns, always use a little bit of this. It's just some Hops Elite gun oil. Put a couple drops on the sandpaper. It keeps down the scratches. You can see on the other side. I mean, that's pretty common for a holster. Let me see if I can change the lighting just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now you can see some of the scratches and the nicks there on the gun. They come from the holster. It's on both sides that way. Once again, I mean, if it's a showpiece, you're not going to put it in that. I'd recommend a leather holster. I like the Fovus holster because it is quick draw if you need to bring it out. A couple things real quickly. The things I'm going to change on this gun to tell you off the bat are going to be the hammer, the ducktail, or duckbill, I'm sorry, the mainspring housing, because this one is the rounded. It's not that it feels bad, it's just if you've ever held a really nice 45 TRP, one of the Colts, the Kimbers that come with the flat mainspring housing, it's really, really nice. So I'm going to switch over to the flat mainspring housing. Just a couple things real quick. Go ahead and show you that. It comes with that. It comes with a set of black plastic grips. Crap. 2 magazines. Magazines actually work really well. I haven't had any problems out of them. It does come with this. I do use this. It's the mag holder. Mainly I just, you know, slide the magazines like I'm going to the range or something. I'll slide them in like that. Just put them in my bag and just carry them like that. It's easier to me than having them slapping each other. I mean, once again, they're magazines. If you scuff them up, guys, nobody sees them. If you ever have to use your weapon for self-defense, I don't think anybody who you're shooting at is really going to care what your magazines look like. Of course, the same goes for your gun. The holster I've never used only because I heard it scratched. Funny. Went and bought the Fovus and had the same issue. Okay, I'm going to go over some of the parts real quickly with you guys, and then we'll talk a little bit more about doing some of the modifications. First part I'm going to show you, it's a Kimber magwell. It's extended magwell. I mainly got it because it was flat, and also I did like the speed shoot. I thought that was kind of neat. Another thing, here is my, and I'll open it up for you guys so you can actually see it a little bit better. I know it's kind of hard to see through the plastic. Right there you go. That's the part number. Sorry about that, guys. Had a phone ringing in the background. There's the part number for you. It's a solid beaver tail drop-in government. It is the stainless steel model. We'll go ahead and look at that real quick. And there's that. Now I went with the drop-in because the only thing on the drop-in I know I'm going to have to do is just on the edges here and here, just do a little sanding. And there will be a slight gap. If you look right here, when you put it into the gun, there should be just a slight gap there because of the drop-in. I didn't want to alter the frame. I wanted to do this myself, therefore I'm okay with the gap. I've seen some that have already been done that way, not a bad deal. And don't worry, guys, I will show you how to do all this. Okay, now another thing I went with was a Ed Brown barrel bushing. This is a solid barrel bushing. It's an ID of 581, an OD of 0.699. It will require some fitting. By fitting, I mean sanding with a little bit of the light oil there I showed you. Roughly around $23. You can get that online or at your local gun emporium. I went with a Nighthawk tooled steel hammer. Now they come in a couple different ones. I've already done this. It's the stainless. I polished it myself only because I didn't like the black on a stainless steel gun. We went with the Wilson Combat Sear. I wanted to go with the Nighthawk, but I heard some bad reviews about them, and I'm not knocking them because I mean their hammer was $30 cheaper than the Wilson Combat. You know, but when you hear some bad reviews, sometimes you like to try other things out. So I went ahead and went with the Wilson Combat. I've got the disconnector coming. I'll show you how to do all of that. I just wanted to go over some of the parts list with you real quick. Another really big important thing is the rebuild kit for 1911 pistols by Mr. Ed Brown as well. One of the good things here is it gives you all the pins, a couple extra springs, $23.99 as well, guys. Magazines, got a couple different choices. You have Chip McCormick and then the Wilson Combat. If I had to pick one that I like better than the other one, I'm going to go with the Wilson Combat. Mainly on the tops of these, if you look, and I'll open them up real quick and show you this as well, guys. I mean, they both feed well. I haven't had any problems yet. One or two slight mishaps, and I would say that it's only because of what I'm about to show you. Okay, these are the tops of both. The Fowlers, I believe they're called. On the Wilson Combat, it cannot move forward. It's plastic. It only goes down. That's it. The problem with this one is if you're not careful, some of the older guns or cheaper guns, I haven't had a problem. It falls right out. It's not really that, to me, that good of a thing if it can fly out that simple and that easy. I mean, Wilson Combat has really perfected their design. And from what I understand from their website and specs, this is a self-lubricating mag. Not sure how that works, but it's pretty neat. So I would go with the Wilson Combat. I'll go ahead, guys, and show you the prices and stuff like that. The Wilson Combat was $31.99. This one was $25.95. Do I think it's worth the $5? Yes. If you keep it loaded a lot, if you're going to use it a lot, to me this is a nicer mag. I do like the butt pad on the Chip McCormick. But the only thing is it's a little wobbly. With the Wilson Combat, I mean, they make great products. They really do. That's why I went with all the parts minus the rebuild kit and the barrel bushing. The barrel bushing, it was just recommendation. And the rebuild kit was convenience and price. I grabbed that. Wilson Combat, their speed shoots was pretty expensive, so I didn't go with them. The other part I went with Kimber was my grip screws. I got them for $12.99. I think it was a great deal. Last thing and not least, we're going to go over some Hobe Extreme grips. These are the aluminums. I'll give you a little info right there, $47.99. I'm going to go ahead and show you the prices and everything, guys. I don't have anything to hide. If you have any questions about the gun, about any of the parts, please feel free to ask. We're going to go back into part 2 of our video now, which is going to be field strip and disassembly of the 1911. Then I'm also going to show you how to put those parts into the gun. Any questions? Check me out. This is Gunpowder Handshake, signing off.